If anyone out there is looking for a thermal imaging camera, maybe for the first thermal imaging camera, or you're an end user who's got a maintenance department where you buy in the service of another company, this device now is simple to use. It's ideally aimed at less experienced users. People aren't familiar with thermography. They can still use this camera because we have technology which will essentially become a guide. You can then use that camera to do the same route every time, but then you have the data capture to be able to then trend over time the performance of those assets.
The FLIR iXX series handheld thermal cameras may be new to the market, but they're already getting rave reviews. Tyler Grand of Blackman Power, an electrical testing company specializing in industrial, commercial and mission-critical systems, says the iXX series has reduced his reporting time from 8 to 12 hours to just 5 minutes. He calls the iXX series a total game changer and attests that, thanks to these cameras, his job has never been so easy. Which begs the question, what's so revolutionary about these thermal cameras? And how could you benefit from using an iXX series thermal camera in your job? To find out, we're speaking to Jason Cargil, FLIR's Technical Sales Specialist. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you, Josh. Nice to be back.
Thank you. So to start with, which iXX series models are we talking about today?
So in the range that we've introduced recently, we have 4 models in the range: the i34, i35, i64, and i65.
And what's the difference between all these models?
The main difference between the models which have a suffix of 4, they are non-cellular, so they can't be used with a mobile network. Yep. The models which end with a 5, so the 35 and the 65, they are cellular connected, so they can be used with a cellular network card in the field.
Okay, so the ones that end in a 5 are both Wi-Fi and cellular enabled?
Yes.
And the ones that end with a 4 are just Wi-Fi enabled?
That's correct.
And what about their resolutions?
Resolution in the 3 series is 320 by 240. So we're looking at 76,800 pixels. In the 6 series, it's 640/480, which is 307,200 pixels. So there's quite a difference in resolution between the two.
You mentioned the cellular connectivity. Why is that useful?
When you're using one of these cameras in the field, you need to have the connectivity to be able to utilize something like the FLIR iXX software, for example. So you need a connection to be able to get it to your cloud service account. Yeah. The beauty of the cellular option is that you can be standing anywhere without a Wi-Fi signal, but as long as you've got a mobile signal, you've got that connectivity. So the ability to connect with other colleagues, for example, or to be able to transfer your data in the field, it's in your hand.
Yes, so it's just increased connectivity and usability if you need that.
Exactly. Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself.
As everyone can see, the iXX series is a very different shape from FLIR's previous handheld and pistol grip cameras.
Correct.
So why the new design?
Well, essentially, it's to enable the user to get the most benefit out of the new operating system that we've employed with this device, which is called the ACE operating system. So this device is app-based and allows the user to essentially hold this camera like a tablet rather than the typical pistol grip thermal imaging camera, and actually use the functionality that we've put into the camera.
Aside from the new design, the FLIR iXX series offers all the functionality you would expect from a FLIR thermal imaging camera. So you get MSX imaging, you get selectable thermal color palettes. So what separates the iXX series from other thermal cameras on the market?
Well, at the heart of this device, it's this ACE operating system, which is an app-based system. Yeah. So we now use apps on the camera, just like you would on a smartphone, to select the different functions. So if you want to operate the camera, there is an icon to open the app for the camera, but then there's also apps for the various software options we have, such as Asset Link and Ignite, the settings menus, the actual additional apps menus. So it's all about the operating system. This is the game changer from FLIR's perspective. It has all the functionality and the usability of a traditional FLIR camera, which are all still available. Yeah. But this is a very, very different format. And it's the first thing people see is it looks very different to what we've produced and entered into the market before.
So what is the advantage of this ACE platform? What does it allow users to do?
Well, for example, you might be an end user with a very specific task or a very specific process. And although you can use existing thermal imaging software, you would also now be in a position to design your own app, which is very specific to your operation. So therefore can be very efficient and effective for what you're trying to do. And you can have that device, that app loaded on. So you can have that app loaded onto the device, very specific to your application. It also means that there will be other apps developed, which may also be of use to users in the field who don't have a traditional preventative or predictive maintenance program. You know, they may have very simple thermal analysis that needs to be done. They can have their own app to do that now. So we've opened up the functionality of this camera to a lot more potential users in a format which is ergonomically really comfortable to use, but gives you all the power on the onboard processing you would expect from a FLIR product.
So one of the advantages of the app-based system is that it's very time-saving.
Yes, definitely. I mean, for example, you know, this isn't just a thermal imaging camera now. This is a thermal imaging system, because you have the ability with this device not only to capture your data in the field, you can actually analyze it on camera. You can actually create a report on camera, and you can send that report from your camera if you've got a connection to the network. But essentially now, so when we talk about the companies like Blackmon, who have, you know, used our camera and found it to be a massive benefit to their operation. Yeah. It's that ability to cut out what can be the most time-consuming part of thermal analysis, which is the reporting side. Yeah. You know, we've done a lot with technology over the last, 10 years to bring the reporting time down. But with this app-based system now, it's really brought everything on camera to be even done in the field. If you don't need to do any detailed analysis and you need to just produce a report which shows an anomaly, you can then be connected to your colleagues in the field. So there's a very collaborative element to this solution as well. So all in all, it saves a lot of time.
You mentioned connectivity and collaborating with your colleagues, and this is an app-based system. So is there scope for including WhatsApp and Teams and communication tools like that?
Yeah, I think the element of the collaborative side of this system, that's a really big thing for us. So FLIR iXX, which some viewers of this will be familiar with. Yeah. You know, FLIR iXX is a cloud-based software reporting analysis software that we have available now. But the ability to then to communicate within teams through the likes of something like Teams is something that we're looking at the moment. You know, so there will be other apps included, which will be utility apps from a business perspective, not necessarily from a thermal imaging perspective. Yeah. So that being able to communicate with your team was going to be enhanced by using this device.
So considering all that and considering the differences between the iXX models, to whom or for what would you recommend them?
I think as a system, this is ideally aimed at some companies who may be looking into the thermography requirements. They may have annual surveys done or quarterly surveys done, but can see the benefit of bringing it in-house to ensure that they can cover more equipment at their own time. So the fact that this device now has the ability to be used by more inexperienced users, because the nature of the way that it operates, our operating systems on our cameras and our user interfaces are very easy to use. Yeah. This is being transferred into this new range, but also with the added advantage that it looks like a smartphone screen. So it's far easier to navigate and ultimately far more intuitive to use.
For more information about FLIR's iXX series, click the box above to download the datasheet or follow the links in the description to our website, where you'll also find options to purchase. But don't go too far, because up next, we're going to be discussing why, in an age of cyber attacks and data breaches, the FLIR iXX series thermal cameras are the perfect inspection tools for our time. Recently, there have been some high-profile data hacks and cybersecurity breaches, which has brought airports and factories to a complete standstill, presumably at the cost of thousands, if not millions. So I think it's safe to say that data security is integral to profitability and maintaining operations.
Yes.
And the FLIR iXX series will be gathering a lot of sensitive information, which means they need to be cyber secure too. Yeah. So how has FLIR done this?
There's more information available online, but essentially we are now certified to ISO 27001. And as an international standard, that means our commitment to cybersecurity is as high as it can be.
Maintenance teams, they're often in charge of large, complex sites. And one of their biggest bugbears is that handheld thermal cameras don't always integrate into their maintenance systems. Yeah. So what has FLIR done with the iXX to resolve this? So
the asset link software we originally introduced, that allows integration into CMMS. So those computerized management systems can now benefit from the data captured on this particular range of camera.
Earlier, we talked about the iXX's app-enabled interface, and that's great because it makes it easy to use regardless of user experience. However, that does introduce the risk of gathering in inconsistent and potentially inaccurate data. So how has FLIR designed the iXX to protect against this regardless of user experience?
So in fact, one of the latest sort of helpful tools that we've got, so we have a lot of functionality built into our cameras to help users. So we introduced this on our premium range of camera, and now available on the iXX.
Okay.
And it's called a reference image feature. So what the reference image feature does is it allows you to call up a previous image of an object or a target, and then use that effectively like a ghost image to line up exactly your position and your distance to capture the next image of the same asset. Because it's that consistent capturing of data that really brings the power of thermography to the fore. If you take images from different angles and from different distances, you're going to find a difference in the results that you're going to capture. So it's a tool which is a user feature to help users in the field, which is now available with the iXX platform as well. So
that's all great. But if I was a facilities manager, I might look at the iXX series and go, well, that just looks like a C series attached to a FLIR One Edge, and those cameras are like a quarter or a tenth of the price of this camera. Why should I invest in an iXX?
Well, you've just mentioned a couple of really good cameras within the range, and if that's what you're looking for, fine as a thermal imaging camera. But this is a device that allows you to not only capture the data, it's got the onboard tools which allow you to capture consistent data. It's got the software built in that you can utilize the software on the camera, which you can't do on those other cameras. And it allows you to create a report in the field. It allows you to collaborate with your colleagues from the camera in the field. And that's something the other cameras can't do.
So this isn't just a thermal camera?
No, this is a thermal imaging system.
Is there anything else you think we should know about the FLIR iXX series?
Yes, that's a very good question. So we've talked about app-enabled operating systems. So we have this ACE platform, but that's not just FLIR apps. You know, so we could have users out there now who could design their own app. In fact, there is currently a competition on the FLIR website to design an app for use on iXX, but there's a $5,000 first prize. There you go.
So if you want further details on FLIR's competition, head over to their website and maybe you could win yourself $5,000. If you were to sum up the FLIR iXX series in 3 words, what would they be?
Well, Jess, if I had 3 words to sum up the iXX, let's use a bit of alliteration. Innovative, intuitive, and intelligent.
Thank you, Jason.
You're very welcome.
Again, that was very informative.
Thank you very much.
Now we've shown you exactly why Tyler Grand considers the FLIR iXX series thermal camera a game changer. Head over to our website, tester.co.uk, or follow the links in the description for more information or to purchase your very own iXX series thermal camera. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like and let us know in the comments. This helps us appease the algorithm and reach more thermal enthusiasts like you. In the meantime, if you want more thermal content, then check out our past videos with FLIR and subscribe, as that way all future videos will come straight to you so you never miss an important development. Okay, thank you for watching and we'll see you next time.